You should not be making this decision solely based on how much cash you actually have. People ask me all the time, how much cash do I need to start in real estate investing? And the truth is, it kind of depends on what strategy you want to pursue. If you want to flip or buy rentals, then you're going to need to either have a lot of your own cash or raise cash. If you choose to wholesale, it's going to be significantly less. You should make the decision based solely upon your goals and what you are trying to accomplish. And so today, we're going to go over step by step what each path can look like. So let's first talk about flipping houses or buying rental properties. Now, they may seem like two totally different things, but from a cash perspective, they're basically the same. The goal is to buy an undervalued deal that's got a lot of equity in it. It just so happens that when you flip it, you're going to go tap into that equity and make it right away when you sell the property. Whereas with a rental, you're going to keep that property, let the equity grow, get tax advantages, and then one day cash in later. The amount of money that you'll need to do a flip or a rental is the exact same. If the average house in America right now is around $500,000, you're going to be able to go get a loan for about 80 to 90% of that amount. That means a hard money lender or a bank is going to give you a loan for $400,000 or $450,000. And that means you're going to have to figure out where to go get $50,000 to $100,000 for the down payment. Plus, you're going to need some money for closing costs. Plus, you're going to need money to start your renovation. Plus, you're going to need money to cover your monthly payments. You could go find private money lenders. These are people who already have money that don't necessarily want to find deals or handle construction and do all that, but they're more than willing to go fund your deal for you. And so you could go get a loan from a bank or from a hard money lender for $400,000 or $450,000, and then go borrow $100,000 from somebody you know that's a friend or a family member that wants to go in on this deal with you. Now, if you have all of those things in play, here's what I'll say. Should you buy a rental or should you buy a flip? Well, if you're not making at least $200,000 a year in income, my advice is you start flipping. You see, if you flip a couple of houses a year and go make an extra 6 figures in your life every single year, that is a really big deal. That could change your family's life. That could change the school system you're in. That could change the vacations. It could help you retire your parents. Adding another 6 figures a year to your income matters a lot. But if you go and take that same property and keep it as a rental, maybe it cash flows a couple $100 a month, maybe it cash flows nothing. But now you have this property that you're going to hold on for the long haul that is going to literally give you nothing but problems until it finally starts making you money. You're now on the hook from paying that mortgage every single month, whether it's rented or not. You're on the hook for every single repair that happens, whether you're making money from a tenant or not. So here's the truth of the matter when it comes to flipping and rentals. Flipping can make you a lot of money very fast. Rentals can make you a lot of money very slow, but both require a lot more capital, a lot more risk, and a lot more experience. And almost every single time I've ever seen somebody get in trouble with real estate investing, it always has to do with either the debt or the construction. They got over leveraged on having too much cash out and they can't make the payments anymore. The market shifts and now they owe more than the home is worth, or they go way over on construction and now there's no more margin or they run out of money. That is how people fail in real estate. If you're looking to get started in real estate investing, then you need to use our cash flow 2.0 system. We give you all the motivated seller leads. We give you software, one-on-one coaching, and everything you need to start your real estate investing business. And we've seen so much success from our students with this system that we are willing to guarantee it. So if you want to learn how it all works and how you can get your first real estate deal today, go on over to wealthyinvestor.com and apply. Someone from our team will get with you and you could have your first deal within a week once you get on this system. So head on over to wealthyinvestor.com and we'll see you there. If you have no idea what wholesaling is, it's pretty much like flipping a house, except that you don't have to buy it. All you do is lock up a really good deal and you sell the contract to another investor. But instead of doing the deal myself, I go find the landlord or the house flipper who wants to do it instead, and I go charge them a finder's fee. This finder's fee is typically called a wholesale fee or an assignment fee, and the amount that I get to charge is solely dictated on how much I have it under contract for and what they're willing to pay. So if I have it under contract for $300,000 and they're willing to pay $315,000, well, I get to make the difference, which is $15,000, which also happens to be a pretty standard wholesale fee all across the country. If you're in major markets that have higher priced properties, your wholesale fees will be bigger. If you're in markets that are really cheap and properties sell for $100,000, then your fees will be less. But from what we have seen, $15,000 is a pretty standard fee when you look at the average nationwide. Now, that being said, I like wholesaling because the risk is obviously significantly less, but it also has two other components elements that make it great. Reason number one is that you get paid significantly quicker than a house flip or a rental property. With a house flip, it might take on average 6 months. With wholesaling, the typical deal takes 30 to 45 days. And so there's not really any other forms of real estate investing where you can make that much money that quickly. Other part that I personally like is the ability to scale it easier. When you think about buying rentals or flipping houses, there's a lot of things that you need to be good at. But now when I look at wholesaling, I'm just like, yeah, you know what? It's a lot easier to just learn how to find deals, because that's all wholesalers have to do. Just find deals and find buyers. That's it. So with wholesaling, we can scale a lot quicker because marketing is pretty easy to scale. With a wholesale business, just strictly depends on how many salespeople you can get that are really good. Now, the next thing you might be thinking is, okay, I mean, if wholesaling has all those attributes that make it appealing, how much do you need to start a wholesaling business? There will be people that tell you can get started in wholesaling for no money and everything else. They'll say, watch YouTube videos just like this one, go be a bird dog for somebody else and go figure it out. And it's like, you could do that. And I've been in this business now for over a decade. And like the amount of people that get started for free by themselves with no type of mentorship, with no type of leads, with no marketing budget, with none of that stuff is like extremely rare. The more realistic scenario is that you can get everything you need for as little as $1,000 a month. Now, I'm biased when I say this because at Wealthy Investor, we have our rookie coaching program that is $1,000 a month, where we literally give students everything they need, all the way from leads every month, motivated sellers, the CRMs and softwares that you need, one-on-one coaching, community, and even funding for your deals. Everything's included for $1,000 a month. And if you want to learn more about that, you can just go to wealthyinvestor.com, have a talk with our team, and we'll show you how all that works. But even if you didn't want to use my company, which you absolutely should, but even if you wanted to use somebody else's, then let's just say you're probably going to spend $2,000 a month, because the things that you need still don't go away. Number one, you are still going to have to invest in education and mentorship. You got to understand what you're doing. You're going to need help learning how to talk to these sellers, learning how to negotiate. The second thing you have to pay for is marketing. You need to get in front of motivated sellers. Marketing is your biggest expense as a wholesaler, hands down. And then the third thing you got to invest in for a wholesaling business are your systems. You're going to need a CRM. If you try to wholesale without a CRM, you ain't going to make it. You are absolutely crazy. I've seen people try to go buy leads and work off a spreadsheet and all this stuff. I'm like, dude, you can get a CRM for very cheap. Get a CRM. You're also going to need softwares to analyze deals. A lot of people are like, man, do I need the MLS, or should I become a realtor and all this stuff? And it's like, you don't need to go get your real estate license, but you absolutely need a software that's going to help you analyze deals, and also a software that's going to help you find buyers. Once again, in Wealthy Investor, we give you all of those softwares to analyze deals, to find buyers, to CRM, the website, everything. And so realistically, if you went with us, you're talking $1,000 to $2,500 a month, depending on how many leads you want, all the other stuff that you want. And you could be up and running in a wholesale business from your home right now today and have leads instantly. You don't need a real estate license. You could do it part-time. You could absolutely get started with it today. If you go somewhere else, like I said, just kind of depends what you get. You're probably gonna have to go to a lot of different places, but this idea of maybe trying to do it for free, does it happen? Sometimes. Is it rare? Absolutely. Does your chance of success increase significantly by getting mentorship and other stuff? It's not even close, of course. So if you want to wholesale, I always just tell people, plan for $1,000 to $2,000 a month. And the best part is, you could treat that just the same way you treat flipping and rentals. I tell people all the time, go raise 10 grand, 20 grand from a friend or a family member, and go get a year of coaching and leads and systems and everything else, and not even worry about doing it monthly. It's a lot easier to raise $20,000, giving yourself a year of runway, than it is to go raise $100,000 to buy a flip or a rental, and it's your first time at it and you don't even really know what you're doing. And I forgot to mention this, the last part I'll say about wholesaling is, it actually leads you into all of the other forms of real estate investing. If you get really good at finding deals, well, guess what? You don't have to wholesale them. You could start keeping them as flips. You could keep them as rentals. You could even keep it as your own personal residence. So building a great system for marketing and sales on the wholesale side is not just for wholesaling. It's going to benefit you forever down the road as you go out and do other forms of real estate investments. So hopefully this clarifies things. Hopefully it helps you out. If you're interested, go check us out, wealthyinvestor.com, and I'll see you on the next video. Peace.